its purpose in that sense, sir.
Mr Chair.
Dr. Chair.
Mr Chair, I have been asked a couple of questions during the course of this debate which I would like to take the opportunity to answer. And one of them is from the Honourable Minister to my right, who queried the distance that one of these laser pointers can reach. Now, in fact, let's just start at the low power, because I thought the Honourable Member, Mr Richard Prosser, may address it, but even those 1 milliwatt or less, which are by definition low-powered laser pointers, can actually go several hundred metres. Now, I remember going to a market. In a country from whence many of these laser pointers, both low and high-powered, come. And the vendors of the wares, the vendors of these laser pointers, some of which were low power, some of which were high, but the majority, it has to be said, were of the nature that you would find on the end of a key ring. So they weren't large, and they weren't more than 1 milliwatt. They were extending beams across the night sky, several hundred metres in length.
So it's why you did the title.
That's why I was initially concerned by the fact of even these being in the public domain and being able to be used. But as we have alluded to, many erudite and perceptive members of the committee on both sides of the House have reflected upon the in-depth discussion that took place on the committee, within the committee walls, to titrate it. And I see through doing that we have the support of the Greens. And it has to be said that support is quite rare, but it is very much appreciated. And in fact, I think I'm right in assuming and saying that we have a support from across the House on this particular bill. Because let's face it, this bill, the Summary Offences Possession of High-Powered Laser Pointers Amendment Bill, actually makes all of us safer. It probably makes our wives, girlfriends, grandparents and children significantly happier to think that the planes that we are travelling in, as we all have to do to come to this House, are not going to be assailed by, as likely to be assailed, it has to be said, because no legislation stops anything happening, but are less likely to be assailed by the dangers of having a pilot blinded by these devices. And I'd like to come back to a point that the Honourable Minister further asked. She said, well, how far can some of these high-powered laser pointers extend? How far, she said. It is absolutely staggering that you can go on the net at the moment, and you can purchase for under $300 US, and given our exchange rate, that's not a lot of money, high-powered laser pointers of over 2,000 milliwatts of power that have a range of how far? How far? 20 kilometres? 50 kilometres? 60 miles. 60 miles. It is staggering. It is staggering. Now, these are the devices that this bill will mean. You're walking along the road, and you're not allowed to have one of these devices in your pocket, because why the hell would you need that? Nobody's got any reason, even a university lecture.
The member must relate this. I say this for the third time. When we're on clauses, we must relate it to the clause, and we're on the title clause. Ask the member to come back to the title clause.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The point I was making, Mr Speaker, that is one mother of a high-powered laser pointer. A high-powered laser pointer which is in the title of this bill. Now, look, just to recap, this is not just standing alone, this bill. The Summary Offences Possession of High-Powered Laser Pointers Amendment Bill is a part of a basket or a cable of measures to reduce the chances of these devices being misused. And I mentioned Joe Goodhue, an excellent minister, and the Honourable Minister brought in the Customs Import Prohibitions High-Powered Laser Pointers Order 2013, which restricts the importation of these high-powered laser pointers. And I have to say that this is Mr. Chair.
Dr. Camcorder.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, this is an extraordinarily useful regulation, because it means that one can only import high-powered laser pointers, which is the title of this bill, if a person has consent to do so. And anyone who commits an offence under this regulation is liable to a fine. Liable to a fine. How much do you think that fine is?
Point of order, Carol Beaumont.
Order. I ask Mr. Chair whether Standing Order 108 relevancy issues to do with the where the member and the chair is, the speaker is now going, is relevant to this bill, and also 108.2 about repetition.
I thank the member, and I have 3 times mentioned that when we're on clauses, you must relate the subject of the debate to the clause. This is not a peroration of what is in the total bill. This is specifically about the clause. And I'll ask the member to come back to clause 1, which is the title.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the title of this bill has been altered, as we've heard, by the Select Committee, and it was done for very good reason, Mr. Chairman. And I am actually trying to keep right on the topic of this, because I think it's very important that we make this point. And please tell me, Mr. Chairman, if I am straying. But I mean, look, what we see with the possession of high-powered laser pointers, as the title of the bill, is how necessary it is, Mr. Chairman. And I was bringing this point up, that when you go on the net, the fearsome nature of these high-powered laser pointers becomes immediately obvious, Mr. Chairman. And not only are they available, but they are inexpensive. You could imagine a paperboy saving his or her money to purchase one of these things, one of these high-powered laser pointers, which is in the title of this excellent bill that we are debating in the House at the moment. And, Mr. Chairman, may I mention a quote about these high-powered laser pointers in this point? Because what one can read is, purchase the Arctic. This is a model of high-powered laser pointer, which is outlined and is covered by the title of this bill. A real-life lightsaber from CNN. The perfect gift for the supervillain. We're talking about these high-powered laser pointers, and this is the type of device that this bill, as its title denotes, this is the type of device that this bill is designed to make extraordinarily difficult for anybody in our country, in New Zealand, to purchase over the internet. These high-powered laser pointers, which are now, as a result of the committee's work, the summary offences, possession of high-powered laser pointers amendment bill covers these particular devices. And I think it's extraordinarily important that we do, because up until now, anybody could have brought them into the country. With the work that's been done by the Minister, as I said, in the supporting legislation about importation and sales and acquisition, this will be an extraordinarily useful addition to our legislative armamentarium to keep New Zealanders safer. The high-powered laser pointers that hitherto had been so readily available, by this legislation's passage, will make the fact that you cannot walk down the road, the boardwalk, the sidewalk, go to the beach with one of these stuff down your board shorts. Now, why would you want to do that? I don't know myself. But the high-powered laser pointer amendment bill will stop that happening, because, without reasonable excuse. Now, that's possible. It's possible that some people will be able to have a reason to have one. Now, there has been mention in this debate about university lecturers. So, presumably, if a university lecturer wanted to stuff one down his board shorts and go to the lecture, he could, but only with permission. Without permission, without reasonable excuse, the title of this bill, the summary offences possession of high-powered laser pointers, would make it impossible for anybody without reasonable excuse to walk down the road. Now, they might be going out in their dressing gown at night, and they might have it in the pocket of their dressing gown, but they can't do that. Under this bill, the high-powered laser pointer amendment bill means that you cannot walk around in a public place, whether it's in your board shorts or in your dressing gown, with a high-powered laser pointer in your possession without reasonable excuse.
Carol Beaumont.
That the question be now put.
The question is that the question be now put. Point of order, David Bennett.
The member has raised the chair. The member has put the question up. That member has already done that previously in this debate.
No, that's not a point of order.
Well,
the question is that the question be now put. She can do a closure motion.
But she has done.
I know, and she can do it again. The question is that the question be now put. Those of that opinion will say aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. Party vote. Ask the clerk to conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
34 in favour.
Green Party.
14 in favour.
New Zealand First.
7 votes in favour.
Māori Party.
3 in favour.
Mana.
1 in favour.
United Future.
1 opposed.
Brendan Horan.
1 in favour.
Oh, casting his vote.
Members, the ayes are 60, the noes are 60. The debate on Clause 1 will continue. Now, I want to make it very clear. That when we're on the clauses, or I'll terminate speeches in the future, that when we're on the clauses, we stick to the clauses, or I will terminate the debate, the speaker. Now, hang on. And I'm still on my feet. And the other thing, well, I am standing. The other thing is that in closure motions, that a member can move more than one closure motion. They cannot, but that's treated as a call. They cannot take more than 4 calls in a debate. So the member from the Labor Party who moved the closure was quite proper. All right, and that's why I accepted the closure motion. Right, we're still continuing on Clause 1.
Mr. Chairman.
No, I'm going to
Mr. Chairman.
call the Honourable Amy Enams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I have certainly listened and heard your guidance on the issue of speaking to Clause 1, and I do thank you for the call, because there is just one small point on the issue of Title